Not your average tabletop. Woohoo!
Welcome back to Not Your Average Tabletop. I'm Zach.
I'm Mac.
And today we are giving our first impressions on Dixit.
Yeah. It sounds like this is a pretty popular party game, but it's new to our collection. So we finally got it played, and...
Yeah, it's like you said, for some reason I was thinking it was a Spiel des Jahres winner, but it doesn't have it on the box. It doesn't mean that it wasn't. I know some boxes don't do it.
Oh, yeah.
But
well, I know it's Tom Vassel's. Tom's. I thought you said Tom liked this one.
Well, he does like it, but
yeah.
I didn't know what you were going to say. If you were going to say it's one of his
you
top 100 games.
You gave me a look like Tom who?
I thought you were going to say, like, oh, it's top 10 games of all time. I'm like, I don't know about that, but I think he likes it.
Tom likes it.
Yeah.
It's the highest award I can give it.
That's
without
fair.
knowing if it's a Spiel des Jahres.
Yeah, I think it's a very well-liked party game because I think it's one that pretty much anyone could play.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
With the ability of sight.
Okay. Hopeful most people could play it.
Yes.
Otherwise, they might have to make a Braille version or something.
Yeah.
But, I was looking forward to playing it just because it's always nice to have a couple more good party-type games in the collection, even though it's not what a majority of
I have a big
our collection
family,
is.
So when we get together, you gotta get those party games out. So.
Yeah, and for some reason I was thinking this one, being a party game played more than 6 players.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure. I know there are a lot of expansions, so I'm guessing maybe with some of those you could maybe get it up to like 8 or something, which would be a little more helpful.
Might have to look into those then.
Yeah, because, I don't know why, but then I looked at it when they were over the one time, and I was like, it's only actually placed to 6. That's a high play count, but it's not that high. It's not quite as much as other party games.
And we could certainly play as a team or, whatever.
And I don't know, maybe I haven't tried it, but you could probably play it with more and be fine.
I think so.
But yeah, in the game, you just have a hand of cards that all have different pictures on them. I don't think any are duplicates or anything. And then someone, whoever the active player is, will say a word for a picture that in their hand that they're going to be playing, and everyone else has to
play a card that would be related to, or play a card that would be related to that word, if they can, the most.
Right.
Because the goal is to, if you're the lead player, you want someone or a couple people to guess your card, but you don't want all of them to, because that's how you wouldn't get points if everyone got your card. And then if you're a player, you want someone to guess your card as the active card or the card that was linked to that lead word, and you get points that way. So kind of a little bit like maybe apples to apples, or is there a game kind of like that with words?
Probably for words wise, it's probably closest to apples to apples. I haven't played that one that much, but
it's been a long time.
From what I remember, I think it's sort of similar to that.
Yeah.
But I think this one that one I think only one player is picking though, right? Or something like that.
Yeah, I think you have
to
give a card related to whatever, and then you choose a funny and a true, or
something like that. And I think the way this works, I like this one better in that regard, where everyone's kind of voting on it, not knowing anything but their own card.
Yeah.
I like that a lot better. And I think that's what would make me want to probably get this one back to the table, is how I feel about it. I would probably just give it an initial rating of right around a 7, where it's kind of just one of those games that if someone suggested playing it, I would definitely be willing to play it.
Yeah.
But it's also not one of those that I'm always going to be like, oh, we gotta play some Dixit, even in like a party game situation.
Yeah.
Just because even in the one game we played, felt like sometimes if
he lost, so he's a little salty.
I did lose, so that is fair. But it did seem like sometimes like there'd be 2 really good options.
Yeah.
And I felt like in that case, whoever was the one giving the other option had a huge advantage over everyone else. And sometimes you just don't.
But that's the luck of the cards, too, though.
Well, that's what I mean. It came down to the luck of the cards.
Yeah.
Because there'd be some times where there'd be a word and you'd look at every card in your hand, and it's like, how do I not have one card that matches like anything with that?
Yeah.
That's just part of the game. But then it's a party game, so it's more for fun than anything.
Right.
But
And I would say it is a lot of fun because like the illustrations that they do are just wacky and weird but funny, and kind of, you're throwing something on the table and it's kind of funny to watch other people's interpretation. Well, if they choose a card based on a word, and so you're kind of watching to see what everyone else thought of the word. Chirp chirp or drip or holy moly or
what was it, hung or hang?
hang, yeah.
Yeah, I apparently think way differently than everyone else. 'Cause I thought I had a perfect one for that, where I had just this, I don't know, clown mime thing.
Yeah.
Person with their head hung down, and I mean the other ones were fine, but I was like, I'm surprised not even one person picked it. But we were playing 4 players, so it's not like maybe in a 6-player game someone would have. So it'd be interesting to see too at the full player count if more good options would show up.
Yeah.
Because it did seem like when there's only that many players, it's I don't know, not. Sometimes there's only like one good option.
Well, it definitely increases your chances with less players. So.
Yeah, and it says 3 to 6, and I don't know. I feel like 3 is. I don't know if that would play well. I think 4 was fine, but I think if you went lower than that, there's just too good of a chance that there's not going to be good cards.
Then it's like deal or no deal. Pick the right door situation.
Right. So
and you know which one isn't it because you have a card, so it's a 50-50 shot.
Right. Exactly. So yeah, I don't know if I would suggest it if you're looking for like a 3-player game.
Yeah.
If you all of a sudden see this and you're like, oh, it goes all the way down to 3 players. I don't think. I guess I don't remember. I don't think there were any rules that changed it at all. But
you don't submit 2 cards. I mean, it still makes it the same. But.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, maybe if you submitted 2, but yeah, it'd still be similar.
Yeah.
Pretty much, but
it'd be 6 cards out there though.
That is true. But yeah, I'd be interested in giving this another try at 5 or 6 to see if that mixes it up a little bit more. I like how you at the beginning had asked, "Oh, what's the maximum points I can get?" Because she's just showing off, and then in almost 3 out of 4 rounds, you got it right, and you got everyone else to guess your card.
I think that speaks more to because the board was confusing, and I was reading it upside down, so I just really was not clear. I didn't understand how that was being calculated, and so that's why I asked. But then I think it also comes down to I feel like I might have a higher emotional intellect than some others or whatever.
Wow.
Where I feel like I can I'm playing with 3 other people, obviously my husband, who I know very well, my sister, who's my best friend, and your brother, who's been in my life for 12 years. So I feel like I have an idea of what they would think and how their cards would work and how their brain interprets that. And then I kind of was a little lucky with my cards. But I don't know. I just felt like I could play the other people at the table better.
So you thought that I didn't have almost that same exact interaction with everyone at the table?
No, I think you do, but I think how you interpret that, because you're more of a logically minded person, whereas I'm maybe more emotionally driven. So I feel like I just am more attuned to their thought process in that way. Mm-hmm. Which is, if you're looking at something, you probably are logically thinking about it, but I don't know. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think overall it's a pretty solid game, especially since it is just a party game and it didn't go on too long.
No.
Which when I saw the amount of points, I was like, I feel like this could go on longer.
And then I
than
ran
it deserves.
up there,
but
and
then, it was pretty quick, and I don't think even if you were a decent amount ahead, but I think Abby wasn't that far behind.
Yeah. She could have caught me.
Jesse was kind of there too, and then I was on the other side of the board yet.
Yeah.
So it might have taken a while for me to get up there, but
yeah. Well, I knew too. It really is based on what you have in your cards for what the person says, and so I feel like I probably did just get a little lucky and had some good cards, because towards the end there I was like, ooh, I don't have things that match up as well as I would hoped. So.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think we will be looking into seeing if there is. A way to get this to maybe 8 players.
Yeah,
if you know of any of those, definitely let us know. Or if there's I think Jesse said there were quite a few expansions. If there's one that you definitely recommend over others or whatever, if you've played this, let us know in the comments below. We'd definitely like to check it out. But yeah, if you've made it this far and you liked the video, give us a thumbs up. If you want to see more first impressions and other things, subscribe and hit the notification bell. Otherwise, we hope to see you on the next one. And as always, don't forget to
Keep on nibbling.
on our content.